And this is the card we're going to do today. This one is card number 3 from the Hero Arts July 2019 kit. And this is the front of the card. This is the back of the card. And on the inside, it's a pop-up. The pop-up scene. And so once again, and pop up. And so let's begin. Okay, this project uses all the ink cubes that came with the kit, as well as the main stamp set with their dies, and the add-on, the Lake Time Fun. Some of these stamps and their dies were also used. I also used some other things. I used a cloud stencil that I made from Dies to Die 4 Cloud Edge Borders. We also used the Lawn Fawn Dies Everyday Pop-Ups to create the pop-up feature. I used the Ocean Wave accents from the Lawn Fawn dies to create the little ocean waves from the water in the back. I also used the clouds from the Smooth Sailing Lawn Fawn stamp kit, as well as the simple grassy borders from the Lawn Fawn, this particular one right here. Okay, I'll start with stamping the bottom layer of the dock, and I will use the sandstone that came with the kit. Okay, next we'll do the second layer of the dock and do the cocoa. Okay, now I'll just stamp out some of the other stamps in the kit. Don't know whether or not I'll use them for the card, but I will stamp them out just in case. And since these are silhouette stamps, I'm going to use some of my VersaFine Onyx Black ink. Okay, and now I'll just stamp out some of the other stamps that are in this kit. Okay, and I'll stamp the back trees with the lime green. Okay, now I'm going to put the front layer of trees, and I will stamp that over the back layer of trees with the forest. Okay, next I will stamp the base of the mountain, and I'll stamp it with sandstone. Okay, and now I will place the second layer of the mountain stamp, and I will stamp it with the cocoa. Okay, we'll stamp a couple of the little grasses with forest, and then these little bushy type things with the willows on them. So I'll ink up the bottom half with the forest and the top half with sandstone. And I've put the dies on the stamped images, and I will now cut it out with my die cutting machine. Now I'm taking a sheet of Nina Desert Storm cardstock, and I will just cut it in half lengthwise
to create a top opening card base.
Okay, I'm going to use my Lawn Fawn Everyday Pop-Ups dies. And I'm going to use the one that has the long portion and the skinny portion. And so I'll put the notches right at the fold line or the score line. Okay, and I'm going to want to add a little support here because this score line here makes it a little bit floppy. Okay, and I'm going to take the inks and my makeup blending brushes, and I'm using Forest, and I'm just going to add the color to the bottom of this. And for the white portion, the bottom of the mountains, I'll use some sandstone.
And now I'm cutting some blue Nina cardstock that I can use as a sky backdrop, cutting a notch where the pop-up is.
Okay, now I'm going to take the dusty blue and I am just going to add some color to this background here. Okay, and now I will put the mountain onto the background just with some glue.
And I'll put some thin foam tape on the back of the trees to raise them a bit.
Okay, now I'm going to use this pop-up die on either side.
And now I'll cut some notches into the background for these two new pop-ups that I just cut out with the dies. And I'll glue the background onto the card base.
Okay, now I'm going to use a Lawn Fawn Ocean Wave accent die so that I can have some little waves on the side. Okay, so I'm cutting this 1 inch from top to bottom. And so I'll do the same with the one for the other side too. And I'll take the dusty blue and add some accents to the water here.
Now I'll glue the water accents onto the two side pop-ups. And now I'll glue the little fishing boat between the two water layers. And I'll glue the dock onto the center pop-up.
Okay, and I will add the little ducks. All right, now I'm going to add some green. We'll start with the lime green. Okay, and I'll put some forest green. Okay, and I've got some acetate here that I've just saved from previous packaging, and I'm just gonna cut off some really thin slices of it. And cut that in half. And then for the kids jumping off the dock, I'm going to glue them onto these pieces of plastic. And I will place them inside.
Okay, and now I'm gluing the plants onto the dock.
Okay, and for my lawn Fawn Smooth Sailing, I am going to stamp some clouds. Okay, for the sentiment, I'm going to use the greetings from my happy place.
And I'll use VersaFine Onyx Black ink.
Okay, for the front of the card, we're going to leave that a little more simple because the inside is where the reveal actually is. So for the front of the card, I'm going to use the July 2019 kit add-on Lake Time Fun. Okay, I'm going to start by adding a mask.
And now I'm putting down a mask for the waterline, and I'm using the blue ink that came with the kit to ink in some ocean. And at this point you want to be careful because I ended up getting blue smudges all over my card base because I wasn't careful enough.
Okay, I got some blue on my fingers and unfortunately smudged some, so I'm going to use my sand eraser to see if I can remove some of this smudged ink. Okay, next I will use some VersaFine to stamp the little raft here. Okay, and now I'm going to use my stamping positioner because I want to get this buoy position just right. So I will first stamp the buoy on the acrylic plate that comes with my positioner. And then I will position the buoy exactly where I want him. That looks good. I'll re-ink the buoy. And stamp. And I think I will use this bird right here from the main kit to hopefully hide most of that ink. Okay, something else I'm going to do is to try and hide these smudges is I prepared a stencil, a cloud stencil using dies to die for cloud edge borders. And so I am going to use this to create some clouds. So I'll use my dusty blue again. Okay, and I've also got a little smudge here on the back. And so I'm going to just do a simple cloud border along the back also. Okay, and the sentiment for the front, I'll use the Thinking of You sentiment from the add-on kit. Okay, now I'm going to put the pop-up portion inside the card, and I want to make sure that it's going to be very sturdy, so I'm going to use some double-sided tape. Okay, now at this point I noticed that I had gotten some blue smudges all over everything, and so I'm just trying to fix all that. So I'm trying some different things, including putting some Desert Storm border around the outside to try and hide those blue splotches that I have on the cardstock. Okay, and then to hide these seams up here, I've cut some more clouds. Okay, to help hide these seams along the bottom, I'm going to use one of my Lawn Fawn Grassy border dies. And so I'll color some cardstock and then just cut it and we'll have a border. And here is the final card. This is the front, and this is the back, and then the pop-up inside. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.